So, it has been quite a while since I have wanted to talk about a movie in the car on the ride home, as much as I wanted to talk about this one, Thor: Love and Thunder. But before that, big shout out to Grand Shuckett for setting up this early screener yet again. Stay till the end of the video to hear a little about them. And also, please come out to BlurredCon this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got a couple panels we will be featured on Friday at 11:30.
11:30.
And in the AM, obviously.
Yeah.
And then also on Saturday afternoon. So, yeah. Jovi's here is going to hold it down for us. I, unfortunately, will be out of town and out of country. But,
completely out
yeah.
of country.
Jovi's going to hold it down. Video game adaptations. Are they good or bad? They are bad. Come talk to us about it.
Please, yeah.
All right.
Great conversations.
Yeah, great conversations. Okay, so now let's talk about Gore the God Butcher. And I'm sure Jovi's going to want to talk about Thor. I could care less, though. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
And yes, we just saw Thor: Love and Thunder. It is the fourth Thor movie. He's the first one to have his fourth solo movie. It's got to be, maybe the 8th time we've seen the character on the big screen? 8th or 9th time at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, so in this one, I mean, if you saw the trailer, you know what this movie's about. Mm-hmm. There is a god butcher named Gore who has decided all gods must die. And Thor, along with his team, must stop him. That is literally what happens in this movie. Very short Marvel movie. I'm going to say very short, but I mean, it's under 2 hours.
It's pretty short.
Yeah. Now, before we get started, I should say something. Because I'm a huge stan of this character. Gore the God Butcher, the arc by Jason Aaron's.
No.
Joss Whedon's run on Astonishing X-Men. Jeff Johns' run on The Flash. Tom King's The Batman, of course. And Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man. Those round out my top 5 comic stories ever. Mr. Miracle and Bendis' run on Superman you can throw in there after, but that's it. So I was very excited to see
Gore.
Thor and the God Butcher. Yeah, there are some things I liked. Mm-hmm. Some things I didn't like. You mind if I just go ahead and start?
Go for it.
Alright, so...
do it.
Gore, the God Butcher. I feel like... So, first, let me say it this way. This movie, if you didn't like Ragnarok, you're not going to like this movie.
Oh, it's straight up.
Yeah. Taika Waititi's back at it again. This movie was actually more of a comedy, I would say. I mean, and I was laughing. But it's weird because the story they're telling seems to be a little bit more serious. And there's a lot of, like, levity. I hope I'm using that word correctly. It's like very lighthearted, but like, you know, like people are being murdered. Like
people are getting murdered and they're talking about freaking diseases.
Yeah. There's a lot of jokes. And I feel like, you know, it went to 10 here. I mean, there's a love triangle between Thor's weapons. Like his Stormbreaker is getting jealous when he's talking to his hammer. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. You gotta say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, when I first saw it, it was funny, but like, it's actually something that keeps coming up. And
you're like,
I was like, yeah, this is weird. Again, Thor himself, you know, Chris Hemsworth, his comedic timing is perfect. But like, I mean,
you can't learn. You don't learn that.
Yeah,
it's just he's really good at playing this character.
Yeah, man. I mean, but there are moments, you know, something serious is happening. Like, I mean, literally, one of his old friends is like on the battlefield about to die, and he's cracking a joke at that moment. Jane Foster, who you've seen in the trailer, also is in this movie. No spoilers here, but if you read the comics, you know what's going on with Jane. And you know, it's kind of serious, but again, also they joke around a lot.
They don't take it. Those are the serious moments, and they don't feel serious.
They don't. It doesn't really feel serious at all in this movie, except when Gore the God Butcher is on screen, and he's actually used very sparingly in this movie. I feel like whenever Taika Waititi put him in the movie, he's like, okay, we got to be serious right now.
Yeah.
When he comes, he's quite terrifying.
It changes the whole feel.
The whole feel of the movie changes. It's quite terrifying. He has a mission that he wants to accomplish. And I like that. I really like that. I like how he kind of plays with shadows. Like, that's his power. He can move in and out of shadows. So, like, when he appears, sometimes you just see the bright red eyes before the rest of him comes. It's kind of awesome.
Great job.
Yeah.
Visually.
Yeah. But then, I mean, again, it's just these movies have two tones. It's like, it's serious, and then it should be serious, but it's a comedy. Then it's just a straight comedy. Yeah, and also there's a story element in this movie. The way his story is told, it's the rock creature, whose name I forget right now, but he was in Ragnarok. The rock creature is basically telling the story to like children.
Okay, yes.
And like every time he's like, "Hey, Cord, let me tell you this part of the story." That's his name, Cord. Yeah. Let me tell you this part of the story. Then he goes into it and starts telling what you're seeing on screen, and I don't know. I don't really care for that. I didn't really care for the way it was done. I mean, visually, it's a Marvel movie. It looks fine. I mean, there was one scene where I actually turned to you. I wanted to say something. I was like, "Wow, that is a green screen." Like there was. I mean, but that always happens in a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Because they're not for some odd reason they're not using the screens like the actual like the Mandalorian's using.
Yeah.
It's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why y'all using green screen still?
Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of short. Thor himself, like I don't like how they kind of made Thor isn't stupid, but they made him like a big dumb jock.
Yeah, slowly but surely that's what his character has become.
This movie felt kind of like, especially even at the beginning when the Guardians of the Galaxy are in it. This movie kind of feels like it's making fun of him. Like it doesn't feel like it's an actual serious story being told to me. It feels like a fan-made film about like hey, this is how Thor is, and
well, you said, I mean, if Korg's telling the story, maybe it's just like his view of this whole.
Well, okay, you know what? That's actually a very fair assessment.
Yeah,
it's like you're seeing it through the eyes of someone who's like a jokester.
Yeah, because he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, not just so again, the movie was funny when it needed to be funny, but the story itself.
I completely agree with it. Could have been. It didn't have to go that funny.
Yeah, man. I mean, like there are goats in the movie that had me laughing. That was funny. They kept that going from like almost the beginning to the end, and I laughed every time. Like the goats made a weird noise.
Some great whoever wrote that and knew. Like I want someone out there, please like time in between the goats, because there has to be some scientific, psychological reason why that shit was funny every single time. Because something being repeated is not funny to me.
Exactly, like the Stormbreaker thing. I was like, yeah, this is dumb at some point. But the goats
were funny.
That joint was funny.
Sorry, so you keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so basically, that like my major problem with the movie is I think it didn't take itself seriously enough, except when Gore was on screen. Also, the ending, I truly didn't care for it. It kind of came out of nowhere, like the way it ends. Was kind of, I'm gonna say stupid. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I think the best parts of the movie, honestly, were 2 after credit scenes. I thought those were like, honestly, the great parts.
Where
of the
are
movie.
they gonna go with this? Is my only question.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously they project towards the future in those after credit scenes, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Like, how do you handle that? And then, if Secret Wars is really going to be the next thing, how does that new character make sense? You guys will see. Just stay after.
Yeah. There are 2 of them, so watch both of them. Yeah, guys. I mean, so at the end of the day, I mean, it's a comedy film that kind of should be more serious than it is, and doesn't seem to take its serious moments that seriously. Like, it could have hit like No Way Home. I mean, there were some moments in that joint, right? Like Aunt May dying, him deciding to murder Green Goblin or whatever. Like, like when it needed to be serious, it took itself seriously and it used its comedy sparingly. This one, it honestly kind of felt like a parody film.
That's fair.
Yeah. Not say I hated it. I think Ragnarok is still my favorite, and I think I liked the first Thor better than I like this movie. Dark World's still at the bottom of the list for me.
Dark World never happened.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got to say, man. You go ahead.
No, I mean I agree with you on a lot of aspects. I thought it was hilarious, very fun. It's not Ragnarok. It's on that same feel. Ragnarok was just a good movie that had great comedy.
Yeah.
This is a comedy with some cool things that happen. So it's very entertaining. It's a very fun movie. But then it's just like, when it does want to be serious, I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's like, you know...
It does, yeah, it's like...
you don't care about the characters.
Yeah. And that's... I think that is the worst part of the whole film. And the film in the whole. When they do get serious, I don't care enough. And then I want to go back to the intense, literally 1 to 2 minutes, it's a joke, it's something funny, because that's what you created. So when you're trying to bring up these moments, I'm just like, you start the movie seriously, and then you go into a joke.
Oh, yeah. Had an up.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said that recently, too. Like, yeah.
It was like kind of like, and then my biggest, the whole time I'm like watching the movie, I'm like, yo, again, I don't care. The monologues were too long, which is not, that's not me. I like that. But for this, because of...
You mean Korg's? Which monologue?
No, Korg's monologues are fine. Everybody else's.
Oh, yeah.
Any time someone wanted to make a speech, or it was a moment where they were talking and explaining something, or even just people dying, and then you're just like, okay, get back to the jokes, because that's what you created. You made like that's how it was flowing. I didn't care.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of, I'm just thinking about that. There was a moment with Valkyrie and Korg on they're traveling to go meet the God Butcher, right? Yeah. And they're having like this serious, like it's an actual serious conversation about like why she can't develop relationships.
Yeah.
And that whole time I was like, yeah, this doesn't feel like it fits in this movie.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Thor and Thor were talking, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that.
Even in that, when
the
Thor,
love side of this movie.
Even when they were doing that, they were still like making, like not taking it serious. Like it was weird, man.
Yeah, so that's
the dueling tones just didn't work.
That's it. Again, I had a great time. This was hilarious. This was fun. When Christian Bale was on the screen, I was into it. I was sucked into his performance. But then it goes back to just goofy, and it's like, okay, cool. Let's goofy. Let's do this. I'm busting out laughing. But it's a weird thing. It's a weird feeling to know. Now, I mean, if you're going to critique it, I didn't like that I couldn't enjoy the serious moment.
Yeah. And even other thing, I mean, again, I think I mentioned the action, but it's not the best action you've seen in a Marvel movie by far.
It's very close. The shots are very close to the characters.
Oh yeah.
There's not many spread out shots. Like
there's no wide angles.
These wide, like sprawling shots of your characters, except for the first fight with Thor that looked like that was made a while ago. Like it looked like something that it didn't match the film for real.
Yeah,
every other scene you're this close,
right?
And like you got the body, and and you literally have like the hammer or whatever they're holding. That was the shot.
Yeah, it was very close, and it was kind of, I don't want to say cliche. Just there was nothing new here.
Yeah. And it wasn't shot like Ragnarok. Like again, Ragnarok felt.
Yeah.
It felt like
I enjoyed it. I mean, even the what is it? The last action scene when like Thor had his little army or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that. Yeah, there's a whole aspect of this involving children.
It was cool, and I was like, that's cool, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I've ever felt like this about a Marvel film.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like that I really didn't care about the characters.
This was I feel like we're rambling now, guys. This and gals. This was a comedy, straight up. This is really what it was. It was a comedy, a romantic comedy, which is my favorite genre, but didn't hit like a romantic comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in romantic comedies, you do have serious moments when you're like, damn, the characters do have a heart.
Exactly.
They're not just all jokes.
Yeah.
So, that's my...
Maybe, I don't know, because, we got a horror movie last time, and now we got a rom-com. I mean, maybe they're just trying to experiment. Who knows? But we'll see what they do with Black Panther, which I think is the next release. Anyway, so what are you giving this movie?
After all the crap I gave it, I'm still giving it a 4.
All right, I'm going to give this movie a 3, so your small couch review score is a 3.5.
Yeah.
All right, so by the time you watch this, you might have seen Thor, Love and Thunder. What did you think about it? Let us know right down there. We love to talk to you guys. And yeah, again, go ahead, check us out at Blurred Con this weekend, yes. July 8th through 10th? Yes. July 8th through 10th.
So both of the panels are on Friday, actually. So 11:30 and 5 o'clock.
Okay, so both panels are on Friday. I'm sorry, that was my mistake earlier. All right, yeah, go ahead, check that out. And as we mentioned, thank you so much again to Grand Shucket for setting up this early screener yet again. Stick around and hear a little bit about them. And until next time, we out. Shout out to our friends over at the Grand Shucket. They really do hold it down, and if you don't know who they are, you will definitely want to. So go check out their website at thegrandshucket.com. There you will find all you will ever need in the world of anime, manga, TV shows, movies, books, comic books, video games. They have it all in one nice, simple, consolidated space. They post written reviews on all that stuff, and they have several hundred episodes of podcasts that are, quite frankly, hilarious. So go ahead, check out their website. Again, thegrandshucket.com, and also give them a follow on Twitter. That way you will never not be in the know.